What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back to the Inside Wisconsin Show here on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts and on all the socials. Trevor, John, today we feature, well, I don't know if you've heard, but the draft is coming to Green Bay. Did you catch that?
Yep. Well, the draft is coming to Green Bay, and they have a new president. And I thought the woman we're going to spoke to might be both of those. She's responsible for one for sure, and that's what is it? What's the official word? The NFL selection something? I don't know if they still call it. That's what it used to be, the NFL selection meeting instead of the draft. And then I just thought maybe I get Ed Policy, but I thought maybe that she was Gabrielle Dow was the right choice. I don't know if she had her hand in the air for this, but if they had gone that direction. After you listen to this gal, you're like, yeah, that's cool. I could have seen that as a replacement for Mark.
That would have made sense. You take that question, okay?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's not the first question. Obviously, right. There's some more important ones, but we should certainly get to that. I do think someday that she'll run a franchise.
No doubt. She's been here just over a decade. Her story is connected to Wisconsin. Her husband's from here. She calls Green Bay home, and she is incredibly important to not only the franchise, but fan engagement and obviously the NFL draft. We're going to cover it all. The VP of Marketing and Fan Engagement, Gabrielle Dow, today on the Inside Wisconsin Show.
The Inside Wisconsin Show is brought to you by American Family Insurance, Blaine's Farm and Fleet, Capital Credit Union, Festival Foods, Quick Trip, Miller Lite, North Star Mohican Casino Resort, and the University of Wisconsin-Platteville.
Hey, remember to subscribe on YouTube, leave a review, smash the like button, just get with us.
I got involved in the insurance industry after working for years in the auto glass industry, and the insurance agencies and the insurance managers were my clients. And after calling on them for years and seeing what they did and how they help people, attracted me to it. Certain companies or certain parts of the industry want to commoditize insurance. To make it a non-transactional business in today's environment is super hard because of the inflationary pressures throughout the industry. You never want to look forward to any type of tragedy, but we have car accidents daily, and it's just a matter of that's how I'm able to come back in, or how the entire team is able to come back in every day, because we're here to help people. April of 2011, when the tornado hit Merrill, I was down in Wausau at the time, and we had some thunderstorms and whatnot, nothing significant, and then the email started coming in with claims. So I jumped in the car and came up to Merrill, and to be honest, the only word that I could use is shocked. I had never been involved in a tornado before, and haven't been, fortunately, but when I got out to that side of town that where the devastation took place, it looked like a war zone, and something I'd never ever seen before. We were there the day of the tornado, we were there the next day and the next day, and still here today. The 48, 72 hours to weeks after the tornado were, again, just eye-opening. Stressful for our agency, but not nearly as stressful as the people who went through it. I guess it really solidified why we were doing what we were doing. You saw devastation, and you felt a need to help, and we were able to do that. A lot of people don't see value in insurance until they need it, and not every insurance company or insurance agency was on the spot, and it hit home too. We get those reminders weekly of why we do it. We do it for a reason, because A, we care, and B, there's a huge need for it.
She's the big deal. That's the big deal. That's Gabrielle Dow with the Packers, responsible for all the things. We'll get to all of it. Gabrielle, thanks for joining us.
Hi, good morning.
So I always get to ask the first question.
Okay.
And I have the same question everybody else has. When will you be signing Jordan Love? Because I'm assuming that's on your plate as well. Of all the things you do, that's probably one of them that's right on your plate.
No, not at all. Actually, I really like his girlfriend, or his fiance.
Yeah.
She's a former Duck.
That's right. We should tell people, right? Like you're a transplant, as many of us are. You're not a townie, but obviously you've embraced. But Oregon for undergrad, Oregon for grad school,
law school, and business school.
That's all. Just those three.
Yep. Yeah.
By the way, Paul Swangard says hi. So I'm 2
Aww.
weeks. So Swanee says hello. He knows you're a big deal. Trev doesn't know who Paul Swangard is. He's the voice of Hayward
Not a
Field.
clue. I'm just going to smile and wave.
Yeah.
He's the voice of Hayward Field. Okay,
Got
so if you're not in charge of signing, how many people, though, when they find out you work for the Packers, just assume that that is part of your job, that you're in on that you were totally in on the Aaron Rodgers trade, you were probably responsible for Favre leaving? Like, do people know your job, or do they just assume, oh, Packers, that's what you do?
No, you know what I get all the time is are you bored? What do you do? How do you market the Packers? They're already the best franchise. Do you do nothing? I go, yeah, I just play golf all day. No.
How do you feel your job? Because it does seem like that's a product that's sells itself.
Exactly.
It's true.
Yeah. No, I think like Ed Policy with Titletown or myself, we're always looking to grow and build the brand and steward the brand. And so hence the draft or soccer or other initiatives that we have, social media, website, research, analytics, you name it. Just have a lot of fun. Enjoy the people I work with.
Congrats on the new boss, by the way. That wasn't a little bit of a shake up over there. Tell us the behind the scenes on that for you and your role.
Oh, well, I wasn't part of it. It was a search committee by our, actually the executive committee then, led by Susan Fingo and Dan Aarons, put together a committee, and then they went out and recruited a company called Korn Ferry that did the search. And they actually used a company to write his job description. And what was really neat about that is we all had some input on who our next leader is going to be. So we got to tell kind of our story and what we wanted out of the next leader. But obviously I've known Ed now for a decade. His family I grew up with, his father, Carmen Policy, was with the Niners, and I'm from San Francisco. My dad played under Bill Walsh. And so we obviously were massive 49er fans. My dad played with Dick Vermeil at San Jose State, and Bill was the coach then. So knew the Policy family very well. So right away, obviously, when I met Ed, I knew we'd be kindred spirits. He's amazing.
People in general, they know how important the quarterback is to the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they know exactly how important Mark Murphy, Ed Policy, is to the franchise. Give people kind of an idea of, the tone they set and how much they have an effect on the franchise.
Well, I think in any good organization, it's a top-down approach. So if that leader has great character and humility, and macro manages and lets people lead and do their job, I would say that equates success. And also going back to Bob Harlan, did the same thing. And so when you have these great leaders in place, like a good quarterback, they can read the room or read the field and get it and put people in place and trust people to do their job. And both of those, it's kind of, I go from one fabulous human being to another. So truly blessed.
How do you do that in your role then? Because you have a significant leadership role within the organization too.
The same. I have some really great team members and just kind of follow that same example. Don't micromanage, let them grow and build and do, and also lead with compassion and passion. It's a passion. It's not a job. So that's the first thing. And then with compassion and fun, that's kind of how I lead. It's just I really care about the people that I work with, and it's day to day, as you guys know in your business. You spend probably more time with your colleagues than you do your family.
Not when you work out of your basement, you don't. I can confirm that. You sure don't. We pride ourselves on trying to tell people stories and talk about who you are, right? So will you help us understand your journey to Green Bay and the Packers? I wrote down San Fran, Baltimore, Miami, obviously Oregon, LA, and now Green Bay. There's one of these things is not like the other, even though you have some connections to the state, right? So what was your journey like to get here?
Well, it started interning for the Portland Trailblazers. Well, actually, going back to the Warsaw Center, Paul Swangard, we just mentioned him, was a year ahead of me, I believe, or 2 years. And so after undergrad, I worked in the buying office for Macy's and decided to go to law school and then business school. And then while I was in law school and business school, the Portland Trailblazers called and said they needed a law clerk. I just said, sure. So I commuted an hour, and I believe it's an hour and a half. And I would head up there and work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and come back down and live with friends. And just fell in love with the business. So started out as clerking, and then the PR department's like, hey, she can write. So then jumped over to PR. At the time, it was the lockout for the NBA. And I remember Coach Dunleavy, Mike Dunleavy was he was in high school. This is how old this is. Bonzi Wells, Ryan Grant. God, I remember remembering the team. So I started in NBA basketball and fell in love with it, and then moved to Staples Center, and just kind of just moved around the U.S., continuing my passion. But when you start in ticket sales and working for an arena, that's a lot there to learn. And so kind of the NFL is kind of the creme de la creme. So that was always the final goal.
Can you draw parallels between the Blazers and the Packers at all? I mean, I feel like if there's a like franchise in the NBA, maybe Utah, but it feels similar.
That's really astute, John, in a sense that, well, when Paul Allen was there, he was hands off. He just let everyone run, do their job. And he also was really, he really believed in, I don't know, I just, as an intern, I had maybe when I left over 40 t-shirts or sweatshirts. Every game had some type of piece of clothing that he was letting his staff be a part of the team, and we'd all celebrate. I had more paraphernalia coming from the Blazers as an intern than I did at any other organization. And I just say that when you think, like, he kept just giving to the team and to his people. And you could feel that both in the Blazers, and then I also got to know the people at the Seahawks. So he again, top-down mentality. He's a great leader, or was a great leader.
How about your Panthers? They going to send you anything? Speaking of memorabilia there?
Oh, excited. I don't know anyone there anymore. Oh, we were so excited. We were all in a small group chat just cheering everything. Yeah, that's just really cool.
Was there any dread watching Game 7? Like, they can't possibly, even though you've been away from it for a while, where you're just like, they can't possibly not win this.
I know. It's just when I was there, the Marlins won. And so I'll remember at that time, you just hope, it's so, as you guys know, it's so unique and so special to get even to the playoffs and then to get that close. We've been there a couple times in my time at the Packers, and it's so heart-wrenching that when you if you don't win that like final game or that championship game to get to the Super Bowl, it's gut-wrenching. You just, when we lost to Tampa, that was horrible. And then we lost to the Seahawks when I was here too. So when you make it, you just feel, you're just so happy because it's so rare.
Okay. I'm going to try to keep happy because your team, the 49ers, as a kid, just keeps putting a knot in our head. And
we have to figure that out. I have nothing to do
exciting.
with that. I'm with you.
It's not, it's troubling. So you've been to these places, right? Franchises that people know. And I probably have heard different variations of the answer, but curious to yours as to what makes the franchise you're with now with the Packers unique from some of the others, whether it's the Panthers or whether it's the Blazers or whether it's working the Lakers and around Staples Center.
I think I tell the story a lot is the word stewardship always comes to mind. So we have our mission, vision, and values. And one of our values is the word, like there's teamwork, there's community. One of them is stewardship. I actually, when I got the job, had to look up the word to understand what the heck the Packers were talking about. And in terms of stewarding our brand and stewarding our community, leaving someplace better than when I got here, that probably is a little unique because we don't have quote unquote an owner. We're really leaving this for generations, to come. And so, how are we doing this for the community and the team staying here? And then for the generation of fans. So stewarding the brand, stewarding the community, stewarding the Packer way is something that was new to me. And probably
when
because
you moved here. Yeah, that's true. It's definitely different. You've been here just over 10 years, right, Gabrielle?
It's my 11th season.
When you moved here, you had young kids. What's it been like raising a family in Wisconsin versus the other places that you've been?
Well, I'm talking to the experts here. You guys know how wonderful it is here. I would never trade that. I mean, they didn't even have cell phones when they got here. The kids had to put clothes on boots and ski pants, and unless it's 35 below, they had to go to school and judge through the snow. I love that in a sense, puts grit in their life, and I wouldn't trade it at all. The community's fantastic. There's something to said about a small town.
All right. Well, when Domofsky was on here, Rob Domofsky, we let him brag about his sons who play basketball at De Pere.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, I want to know what it's like to be a volleyball mom. And is summer like, are we travel volleyball crazy at this point, or what's going on? How does that work?
Well, first of all, I'm really short, so that's like I am the little Keebler in the family. It is wonderful. Love volleyball. My husband played with the Misty May, Carrie Walsh, Casey Walsh group out in LA. So that's where we met. It's his passion and his love. And actually, Danielle just grew an inch in college. She's now 5'10". So we're also a bunch of late bloomers. I think Jackson's about 6'1". He's 15. So we belong to Milwaukee Sting, and we're headed to nationals in 2 days.
Wow.
How hard is it to sit through that game as opposed to a playoff game?
You want it badly for your kids. It's more upsetting, when they don't get to that next level. You hurt for them. From a playoff game, that's just a whole nother. It's just like there's financial implications, there's rings, there's like experiences. I mean, you work your whole life to get there. So a little day and night.
There's some professional skin in that game as opposed to just parental skin. I can see that.
So you're here now, though, and this has always been the goal. In the 10 years that you've been with the Packers, how much has changed?
Ooh, that's a great question. Probably growth in just almost every area. I think under Mark's leadership, we've always tried to get better. So Titletown has grown. Even in my area, some of the digital things that we're doing, we're working on connecting like a perk. So when you have your app open, you're going to connect. You go to the concession stand. That goes against, you get points for that, kind of like the Starbucks model. So we're trying to create just more connectivity. Now you don't have any tickets. You have to use a mobile app. So it's just always, we're trying to, continue to stay with the times and be progressive.
Yeah, the ticket things. I think that's why Mark Wagner's not there anymore. I just call all the time. Just say, when can I have my tickets? I'm like an old school guy. And it's not that I can't do the phone thing. I just love the ticket. Right. And I get to the end of the year, which is nice. I love that. If you stop that, then I might turn mine in. Because that'll make the list go down by 4. So that's crazy.
I think we can sell it. You can print those though. I think we'll give them to you at some point.
Yeah, I have that. What do you have, Trev?
This is when Favre came back in purple, right here.
Oh,
I know.
Right. I have my Lambeau Leap ticket. I have my Favre comes back and throws 9, or Holmgren comes back and throws 9 interceptions by Brett. So, yeah, I don't know. I
get it.
That's such a connection, even though it's a little tactile piece of paper and all that other stuff.
Do you keep your credentials?
Yeah, I've got
I'm a credential. I have a Tupperware thing, John. That's going to have to go in the
they're hanging on the. Yeah, and I look at some of them and I'm like, when of these could go? And I'm like, you know what? Carolina Duke basketball, I guess that could go. It's strange, some of them.
Barbara Streisand, Eagles opening at Staples Center. Babs.
You can't do that. Yeah, you can't get rid of that.
I know.
Never.
I can get rid of NSYNC, but yeah.
No, you can't.
What kind of credential am I going to need for the draft in 25? Congratulations on finally pushing that windmill over.
Yeah, we're super excited. It's free, so you don't need anything. But it's super free. You just need to come with your family and join.
No, I'm going to have to bring like 3 students with me who are going to have to cover whatever Missouri Tigers are getting drafted. So I'm going to need to know there's got to be some credentialed type situation going on.
Oh yeah. Let's get you in the media center.
So, but if you could, how long was that pursuit and what was it like going through that?
Probably about 5 years. We started in 2018. Oh, this is the, sorry, it's real.
You're getting some drywall done? What do you got going on here?
I am. It's the fireplace guy.
That's Terrific.
I can't make this stuff up.
Wait, are we going gas logs or are we going to go regular? What do we got?
No, he's doing this. We had the fireplace laid with cement on the outside, so that's what he's looking at. So that's all
Fantastic.
like cement,
That's
but it is gas. And so that's going on. Sorry about that.
That's awesome. Tell you what, we can actually jump into a break real quick. Let's do that. And then the second segment, I think we're going to talk about a little bit of the draft.
Okay. Sure.
We almost made it through the whole first segment without talking about it, and bam, right at the end. So break time. Stick around. Gabrielle Dow with the Green Bay Packers and Chief Draft Officer for sure. Back in a second. The Inside Wisconsin Show.
The Inside Wisconsin Show is brought to you by American Family Insurance, Blaine's Farm and Fleet, Capital Credit Union, Festival Foods, Quick Trip, Miller Lite, North Star Mohican Casino Resort, and the University of Wisconsin-Platteville.
Hey, remember to subscribe on YouTube. Leave a review. Smash the like button. Just get with us. It's raining like crazy here this summer. It's not even spring anymore. We can't blame spring. It's summer, and it's been raining like crazy. So my concern is grilling in the rain. Miller Lite in hand, grilling in the rain. I can do it in the winter. I can do it in the fall. Spring, rain sucks. You can't grill in the rain. So what I did.
So how do you solve this? Because, all I'm going to say is the pioneers managed to cross the entire country and the Rockies in a covered wagon. So how are you overcoming this
First world
horrible challenge as a, as a human and a society?
Okay, got it. We pull the grill. So it's this flat top grill that I know you hate, that you're never going to get one, but we pull that into the garage closer to the beer fridge filled with Miller Lite. It gets a little smoky, but there is an open flame, actually. We leave the garage door open. It doesn't rain in the garage. I don't know, man. Miller Lite tastes like beer, so I'm trying not to make it watered down. I don't want to drink Miller Lite in the rain.
Never watered down. That's the beauty. It's less filling and it tastes great.
Yeah, and it's both. Did you get the memo? It's both.
So you just bring the grill to the beer.
Well, when it's raining, especially the flat top, there's not like water on the flat top, not great for the grilling. A little bit of empathy here, though. I mean, Wisconsin's super soggy. Like, it's stupid here. There's dams failing, there's water and flooding. It's the real deal. So I understand that my grilling is probably taking the back burner.
I admire your determination.
Thanks.
That you're willing to, fight through that kind of adversity, all while limping. That's big.
Oh, yeah, that's happening. With a Miller Lite in hand, grilling doesn't just taste great. It tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/InsideWisconsin, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories per 12 ounces. Yeah,
you're a griller and a Miller. It's all you need in your life.
Nice. I like that. It's a tattoo. Griller and a Miller. Time for another top 5 list here on the Inside Wisconsin Show, presented by the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, a top university in the Midwest. UW-Platteville ranks in the top 50 for best undergraduate engineering programs in the country and offers top-rated STEM programs in healthcare, biology, and more. Learn more at uwplatt.edu. JA, top 5 list time. Whenever you say you're going to quiz me, I get pretty nervous, a little sweaty, but I'm excited about it. What do you got?
So there are no wrong answers, right? And as always, we exchange ideas. What should we do? Top 5s, here it is. And because of Gabrielle and her integral part of bringing the draft here in 2025, you're like, how about the top 5 draft picks? I'm like, I think we've covered that. I don't know, remember. But I said, well, how about we twist this? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the top 5 draft picks, but like number 5 will be a 5th round pick. Number 4 will be a 4th round pick. Number 3 is going to be a 3rd round pick. You follow me?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay,
that's
good.
Awesome.
Right. So the problem is even that's really hard. So the quiz here isn't you naming them. Here, I just want you to pick.
Okay.
You
multiple choice
list. You get to set the list. There are no wrong answers, and you're just going to pick. And you're going to go, holy crap, this is so hard.
Okay, got it. Here we go. Oh.
Okay. So here's Trevor's.
By the way, I don't
5.
believe you when you say no wrong answers. There's not a single top 5 list that I've done with you in this scenario where I haven't had a wrong answer. I'm fairly certain.
I think there are better answers, but I think these are all really good. So this would be the best 5th round pick at number 5.
Okay.
Dorsey Levens, Kabir Bajabiamila, or Max McGee.
Whoa, that last one is okay. Isn't Dorsey Levens the all-time leading rusher in Packer history?
No, that would be Amon Green, followed by Jimmy Taylor.
Awesome.
But carried the ball, won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Dorsey Levens.
Yep.
Um,
Mila, Max McGee.
Biamila was an absolute nightmare on the defense. I'm
Yeah,
going
he
to go
was.
with Dorsey Levens. I'm going to go Levens.
Okay, Dorsey Levens it is. Either way, or Max, either way, you got a Super Bowl champ. See, not hard at all.
Good.
Number 4. You ready? This is the 4th round pick. Number 4, Edgar Bennett, David Bakhtiari, Jerry Kramer, Hall of Famer.
4th round.
Trev's pick for the 4th round, best 4th round pick in Packer history. Bennett, Bakhtiari, Jerry Kramer.
I'm going Jerry Kramer on this one.
Okay, very good.
Am I right?
I mean, the guy played on 5 world champions. Hard to go wrong there.
Okay. I take it you would have picked Max McGee in the first one?
Well, I don't know. Because Max, as great as he was, and he was the Super Bowl, he should have been the Super Bowl MVP of Super Bowl I. Do we give him credit for his broadcasting career? Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
The game is not meant to be easy, Trevor.
Yeah,
it's not
you
meant to
definitely got it hard.
be SAT. It's not meant to be easy. All right, are you ready? 3rd round. We're up to the 3rd round here, Trev. 3rd round.
Got it.
These two guys, same draft, which is going to make it difficult. 95 draft, 3rd round pick, William Henderson.
Okay.
Antonio Freeman. Or Ray Nitschke. First one would have been hard enough.
Yeah. I'm not sure how to pick between the Super Bowl 31 champions like William Henderson and who was the middle and Nitschke. Like, there's no comparison for who was the second guy?
Go with your heart. Just Antonio Freeman.
No offense, Free, but you're not on the list.
Wow.
Nitschke. It has to be Nitschke.
Okay. Would you taken Free over William Henderson?
No, I would have taken William Henderson.
Wow. Okay. Both in the draft class.
I think he was massively important to that Super Bowl 31 team. Underrated, massively important, in my opinion.
Very good. Okay. Now we're up to the 2nd round picks.
Yeah,
Second round.
Brom.
These guys are 2nd round picks is kind of amazing, but you think there were so few teams when some of them were drafted. So you have Jim Taylor, Forrest Gregg, who's only, Vince Lombardi said the greatest football player he coached, or Devontae Adams.
This is nuts. This is impossible. I did not see this coming.
Devontae Adams, Forrest Gregg, Jim Taylor. I need your best 2nd round pick. We've got Dorsey Levens. We've got Jerry Kramer. We're going Nitschke. It's okay to go with your heart and what you know. I'll mock you. It's okay.
I think it's Jim Taylor.
Okay.
I understand Forrest Gregg, but yeah, I got it. But Jim Taylor, I think, has is it the bigger name? I should just stop talking. What's the 1st round?
That would be that. By the way, that was my dad's favorite player. He loved Jimmy Taylor.
There you go.
Because he was tough as nails.
I feel like the more I try to elaborate, the dumber I'm going to sound, and it will used against me in this.
No, I think this would be wonderful. I hope fans, people that are watching the show, fans of the Packers, argue this one out because it's amazing. It's amazing. So number 1, there's kind of 2 sets. Okay, these would be the guys from my era, right? You got Freddie Carr, Willie Buchanan. John Brockington, those were guys that I loved, but I don't think are in the class of the other ones, right? John Anderson, number 1 pick.
Okay.
Then there's guys like Sterling Sharp, right? Or Clay Matthews. Like, those guys are amazing. They don't get on the list.
Not on your list. Whoa.
All these guys are in the Hall of Fame. Number 1 picks. Okay. Oh wait, I had Tony Mandridge. That's got to be a misprint. So you have James Lofton, Paul Hornung, Herb Adderley, Dave Robinson, and then Hall of Famer to be Aaron Rodgers.
It's Aaron Rodgers. It's not.
Wow, not even a thought.
Right away. Yep, I knew he was a 1st round pick. Thank you very much.
But he's going to go to the Hall of Fame.
He's absolutely going to go to the Hall of Fame. As much as the end was weird, the guy literally took off where Favre left it in a great place, and so is Jordan Love. It's Aaron Rodgers. As much as that pains me, I'm not gonna lie.
So you've gone Trevor's top five. Fifth is Dorsey Levens.
Yep.
Fourth is Jerry Kramer. Third is Ray Nitschke. Second is Jim Taylor. And number one is Aaron Rodgers. So I'm trying to think, like, I would be really close on a lot of that. Like, I think that's really hard. It's hard to be influenced, not be influenced by the Packers from Lombardi era that won all those championships. It's really hard. I do think you're right. Like, I don't think William Henderson or Free, as good as they are, were in Nitschke's class.
Agreed.
Literally, I think you could throw a blanket over Adams, Forrest Gregg, and Jimmy Taylor. Rodgers, I think as good as the rest of those guys are, it'd probably be Rodgers, Horning, Lofton, Adderley, Dave Robinson. Like, it's a tough exercise. And I think you've done a great job. You're admirable. I know you always have this trepidation. You shouldn't. It's a hard deal right there.
That was hard. That's impressive. I guarantee you did most of that off the top of your head.
No, I had to look a few of those up. I knew where some of those were. Like, I knew Nitschke was a third. Obviously, I knew Jim Taylor and Forrest Gregg were seconds. Because during the recent draft, I was looking that up some, right? Because you see these guys now, they say, well, there's only like 20 first-round grades, which is true. And when there used to be only 12 teams or 10 teams, right? So all of a sudden, Forrest Gregg, it's like Bart Starr's whole thing is he was a 17th round draft pick. Well, if you go by the number, he was picked ahead of Tom Brady.
Right.
Tom Brady was the sixth. They were like 2 or 3 overall picks apart. So it gets kind of, it's you got to have some context to what that is.
Yeah.
So I knew some of those. Like, I remember Aaron Rodgers was picked number 1.
Yeah,
remember
me too.
A little lower than he thought. I don't know if you remember that.
A little, a lot. Real quick before we jump in with Gabrielle again, what pick will the Packers have in the draft when it's here in Green Bay? We'll circle back on this, but right now, give me the number of their pick in the first round.
They're going to pick. There's 32 of them. They're going to pick between 28 and 32, 29 and 32, 29, 30, 31, or 32.
Let's go. It's an NFC championship game. I like it.
Yep. So
right.
They're going to get a good backup.
I'm hoping for 32. Hoping for 32. How insane would the draft be in Green Bay if we won the Super Bowl and then host the draft? Are you serious?
I don't know. Let's just get to the end of the show.
Okay, here we go. Back to Gabrielle. Back on the Inside Wisconsin show, Trevor, John, and Gabrielle Dow with the Green Bay Packers. All right, Gabrielle, we mentioned it at the end of the first segment. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk a lot about it probably here in the second segment, but the NFL draft. Draft. So first things first, will you say something to settle people down around here that keep going, how's this going to work? We're never going to be able to infrastructure this, hotel that. Is
that what those people sound like?
Oh, that's exactly what they sound. And they do this. That's what they do when they talk. This is my little Green Bay. How are we ever going to do this? Put it to rest. This is going to be just fine. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Tons. We have hotel rooms galore available. I mean, where everyone will be able to fit. It's a free event. The community will be ready. I've no doubt we're going to be great. We host 81,000 people, game day. Maybe add a couple 20 or 30,000 more. I mean, quite frankly, there's so many people working, but it'll be fine. It'll be great. Like, everyone's so nervous. It's like, no, we're meeting with the city and this. Yes.
But when you looked at the crowd that did show up in Detroit, did you go, okay, that might be more than we anticipated, or did you go, that's awesome, bring them on?
Well, that was a little bit of commissioner math. So Megan, I mean, I got counted, like, I was there, the 3 days, and I got counted 12 times.
Yeah.
So like they counted me in and out. Maybe it was once, 12 times in one day. So a little bit of commissioner math there, which is fine. So that's okay. Just cool things. I mean, I'm hoping that we're going to open the stadium. I'm hoping that, that holds 81,000 and the area around it. You guys have tailgated there. All the parking lots are all going to be open. The fan experience will be all through the parking lots and maybe some through Titletown. It's going to be great.
What details can you spill, and what ones are you holding back, and what percentage are we still working out?
We're probably working on about 80% of it.
Okay.
What I can't spill, because it's the NFL has not decided on, is where the stage will be. So they're working through that right now in terms of what they need to do. And obviously how they use the Resh Expo, which is the building behind the parking lot, which is how they manage that. So there's some, hopefully by end of July, we'll have more knowledge on that.
How much do they have a say, and how much do you go, wait, no, we're here. We know what it's like to put 81,000 in, and that may sound like a great idea in New York, but in Green Bay, actually, no.
Well, I don't think they've forgiven me yet, but they can't put the stage on the field because I want to keep my job. That the stage, as you know, is massive. And if we put any of the current stages they've done in the past, it would go from stands to it would cover the whole lower bowl, and the weight and what that would do to the field, it's not okay. So they have to put the stage outside. But so I don't think Peter O'Reilly is still mad at me. He mentioned like 3 or 4 times.
Interesting.
So this is more than just Billy Joel and his piano. We need more space.
Oh, it's about 3 times the size or twice. Yeah. Because they put an overhang over it too. You've seen it. Like there's always, because the inner circle has to go underneath. So take Billy Joel, 3 times the size, and now put a roof over it. It's a hanger. So it's like a hanger, air hanger.
It looked like a hanger in Detroit. Ridiculous. And
it's going to be bigger than Detroit, I hope. I'm pushing.
Jeez. Wow. There's not many places that thing can go. Let's be honest. Like, especially if they're going to use the Resh Expo, there's kind of an intersection that this is going to be best. So, but that's one of the questions that comes up all the time, Gabrielle, is how are we going to get around in the month leading up to the draft? Because they have to build that thing, right? And my kids, or my youngest, I should say, I just had one graduate, go to St. Mark, right down the road from, So how do we help explain to the greater Green Bay public that this isn't going to shut down the whole city?
Well, we're working with public safety on that message and city and counties. And so that you can get there through Oneida Street. So when they build the stage, the campus starts small and gradually grows. So probably the week of school, and I'm just guessing, you'll just have to do a detour, and that's maybe going up Ashland and cutting across or something like that. So it's one thing that it's not like a downtown. I mean, it's 1 to 2 streets and maybe 2 to 3 blocks. So it's not like we're shutting down Detroit.
Yeah, true.
Who are we kidding? Everybody's going to be so excited it's here that whatever inconvenience is going to feel minor. I mean, that's just my belief as somebody there. I think we should really Green Bay this thing up, though. Take St. Mark's. That could be your green room, right? I've told you, my buddy across the street, Byron.
No, we're going to tailgate there. Are you kidding me?
He could do that. Again, his mom, B, has this. She's got the refrigerator magnets of all the teams. She's ready to put in order, so you have the draft. Or like, I think we should, instead of glitzing it, we should Green Bay it. And that would be, I noticed when they did the handoff, there was a bike in front. And I'm like, see, now you're getting towards my people.
Yes, we're creating bikes for every team. So, and having each team bring a bike kit in. We're trying to figure it out with the teams. We're not sure if they're gonna want to do that, but regardless, we're gonna have a bike with every single team on it. And Mark wants them we'll ship it to each team for charity. So that's coming out soon.
Hand out an old fashioned along with the hat. There's a logo on the glass with I just feel like we really need this to be, take
a polka band. We need a polka band
on
a flatbed, don't you think?
I don't know if Alvin Stachinski is still working, but yeah, if I can get apple peaches, pumpkin pie, or any of those things roll out the barrel, yes, see, now we're doing better.
They're cooking with fire. I love it.
Yeah. The guy who doesn't complain about the stage, if you told him old fashions and polka band, I think all would be forgiven.
Oh, I have some plans for you that week, though. You better have the whole week planned.
We'll put it on the calendar. I've noticed it's there. And then after you get rid of those people, now you want to put the European people call it football. I like to call it soccer. Some people call it kicking. That would be me. Kicking. Yeah. So, and then you're going to put a kickball team in there too.
That's in 26. We're working with FIFA on possibly hosting a national team. So we're looking at a couple countries that would come over and stay with us. So basically our training camp, but for the World Cup. And so they would come about June 1st, and depending on how long they last, stay till about the end of June.
What was the reception to that idea when you brought it to FIFA?
Oh, they were all in. Yeah, they actually came. We worked with a gentleman named Alex, and actually he's a Packer fan. That's funny. The head of their sites is a Packer fan. Not surprising. He came to visit, and just, we have the hosting team locker room. We have space, the proximity to hotels. The airport thing is a big deal. It takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, right.
It takes 15 minutes. You're not sitting in New York in 45 minutes traffic and then another 45 to get through. You guys know we have the smallest escalator known to man in our airport, and it's super easy.
It's like 9 steps.
Right, and it's moving.
Yeah.
And there's an elevator next to it.
I heard Mark, when he was talking about the Brazil game, saying, we have some logistic things that we don't want to have a disadvantage. And I can remember when I was like 12, a 747 landed at Austin. We all turned out to watch the 740. And the reason it was there was to take bowlers to the National Bowling Congress convention. Like, that's the most Wisconsin thing ever. But we can get the big one. Do you have to go to Brazil, and could you recruit the Brazilian team? Because they're very good.
The Corinthians were actually here. They came to visit. So they have now been incorporated and are trying to form an LLC and want to do model after our shareholder program and sell stock. So they were here. We met them all. They're fantastic.
Gabrielle, if you look at your bio on the Packer website, I have it on my laptop.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's just a couple things that you're in charge of: retail operations, digital and broadcast, marketing, brand engagement, business research, analytics, game presentation. Wow. Is there anything, though, in the 10 years and all the things on your plate that you're most proud of?
That's a great question. I would say I'm most proud of just the community of colleagues and and the people I get to work with, building those friendships and those relationships and like getting to know Ed or getting to Maureen and some of my team. I think it's more for me the human part about that. I mean, we all work so close together. Titletown, even though Ed headed it, it's built with a team of people that surround it and do it. Whether the draft took, as you guys know, is a team of people. So without those kind of relationships and collaboration, that couldn't get done. So I think that's what I'm most proud of, is that on any kind of crazy random idea that I will bring forward, the team of people are like, well, okay, let's analyze it, put a P&L together, see if it works. And yeah, it did. It's going to, just like kind of like the FIFA scenario. And we're working on some other things that are pretty cool. So, I think it's just that kind of relationships that I'm probably most proud of.
And you sit on a number of boards, you're doing that, you teach some at St. Norbert's. Someone who just quit their job. But one of the things I did, I set up an internship at the University of Missouri. So a kid for the last 20 years has come here in the summer. And when looking at that, I always try to, I'll always say to people, like, if you can't bring somebody along, I don't know why you're moving.
Yeah.
But I purposely try to bring along people that don't look like me, because I see a lot of middle-aged white guys in my business, right? You're a high-ranking woman. Your maiden name Valdez is Latina. Like, how do you try to bring along people that do look like you? Because that's a rarity as well in the business.
Well, first of all, I never ever turn down a college student who calls and asks for information. So poor Megan, anyone who's trying to help me book this stuff, I will never turn down a college student who wants to talk about how to get in the business or how to advance, for sure. We have plenty of internships. I love the fact that you do that. Interning, I started as an intern. I was in grad school and business school, and I was interning for the Portland Trailblazers. So it's a really great way to toe dip and get your career going. I think it's just, making sure that no matter who it is, everyone has a seat at the table, whether you're an intern or not. And leading with compassion and giving everyone an opportunity.
And in terms of that, how do the Packers rank in other places you've been, or how do they stack up in terms of women in important positions? You just said Ed Policy, and Susan Finko was there at the forefront of that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've known Sarah Quick for years, and she's certainly got stature there. You're not alone, but I don't know if that makes the Packers better, worse, or just, what's it like to work in that operation?
I think it's gotten better. I mean, when I first got here, I was the only woman. Mm-hmm. Before Susan was on the EC, and then obviously Nicole. I think we've gotten better as an organization, and I don't know that it's not one person's fault. It's the fact that we live in such a small community. When people look for a job to get a job in Green Bay, it's not like the first place you want to just run to. So, I mean, when I asked, I was like, oh, should I apply for this job? My husband's like, you need to realize there's no Nordstrom within 45 minutes. You need to understand. When then Amazon, came about, so that worked out great. But he actually made me drive from Milwaukee to Green Bay because he's like, we've only vacationed there a couple times. Like, we've gone to Door County. You need to understand what this, this farming looks like and all that other good stuff. So, it's not like Green Bay is not Denver. And we don't want to be, but I don't know how that attracts a lot of viable candidates. And I think also Rob Davis has been brought back. And Mark made sure he did this. This is a genius of Mark in terms of bringing Rob back, and Rob is heading our DEI initiatives. So now we have someone, who's such a great speaker and so motivating, helping us get better.
Yeah, your husband is from Wisconsin, right? Port Washington area?
Mm-hmm.
So you have roots here, and including, I believe, a family dairy farm. Have you worked the milking parlor by chance?
No. The only thing I like to do is go look at the thousands of kittens, and then you stick your hand in the baby calf, and it just sucks on your fingers. That's pretty much it. The kids just want to drive the tractor around. My uncle-in-law's truck won't let them. So yes, we have family, and my husband's family is in Lomira and Port, La Crosse, and also in Chicago.
So maybe his case is more curious. How does a guy in Wisconsin learn to play volleyball and go to California than the other way around? I feel like that's a stranger journey than you coming here.
Yeah, he started actually in college playing, and then when he finished Minnesota and then Milwaukee, and then he was playing on Bradford Beach and then headed to LA. So wanted to make that circuit. So that's how I got into it. He loves it.
So they hired Ed. How long before you get to run the whole franchise? Does if not this one, another one? Does that ever appeal to you?
No.
Come on.
Thank you though for asking. I hope I can influence Ed on some cool, fun stuff. I already have, and so no, I'm really excited to see him. He was I was pulling for him, and I obviously didn't know any of the other candidates, but I wanted him to get the job just because of his character and leadership and who he is as a person, personally and professionally. So it's kind of neat working with someone that's also a friend that you've known and really trust. He's great.
There's 31 other franchises. Well, it shouldn't. Jerry Jones hasn't given up the ghost for a while.
No, and Charlotte's there. It has to be the right organization if I ever got tapped. And I actually probably would talk to Ed about it. I mean, I'd be like, okay, what's that? What does that look like? But no.
Is that on your vision board? Run the whole NFL franchise.
I don't want to run the NFL. That's like
just an NFL franchise. An NFL franchise.
I would maybe if the opportunity came about and it was, something, yes. Because my kids are almost gone. So yeah, that would be kind of fun. We'll see. I'm not actively looking.
Good. We would like to keep you here. We're grateful for that.
The great ones is why you hire Corn Ferry and the headhunters come get you.
Fair.
Yep. And I know who they are.
Oh my God. All right. We're back to wrap it up with Gabrielle Dow of the Green Bay Packers in just a minute. The Inside Wisconsin Show.
The Inside Wisconsin Show is brought to you by American Family Insurance, Blaine's Farm and Fleet, Capital Credit Union, Festival Foods, Quick Trip, Miller Lite, North Star Mohican Casino Resort, and the University of Wisconsin-Platteville.
Hey, remember to subscribe on YouTube, leave a review, smash the like button, just get with us. I have beaten the dead horse when it comes to talking you into buying a smoker. So what I'm going to ask is, if somebody goes to Festival Foods and buys XYZ meat to smoke on the grill, have you had a smoked brisket? Have you had smoked ribs, pork butt? Like, do you have a favorite thing that you could go get at Festival and have somebody else smoke?
Dude, I worked in Oklahoma for almost 8 years.
There's that.
You don't think
that.
You don't think I've seen people out there grilling? Like, since you have never been to Little Joe's up there on Greenwood and Pine in North Tulsa, you probably will never know the joys. This old fella, he'd come out, and Little Joe was it was named after the guy's daughter, Joe. And he came out, and you'd get brisket, and he'd like, you want it sliced or chopped up? And he'd go, I chop it up fine for you. And then he just brought out this giant cleaver and and I'm like, nice. That was fantastic. So I love a good brisket. I love a good pulled pork shoulder. I love a pork butt. Like, there's nothing that I like a hot link, which is different than a sausage.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. So yeah, if you've got any of those things and you want to smoke it for a day and a half or whatever it is from morning until it just falls off the bone.
Yeah.
And then you want to put a little sauce on that. I'm willing to try whatever sauce you got.
Yeah.
And then just long as you get, like this, then I just need a little baked bean. Then I need a little coleslaw. And then I just want white bread, right? Now is not the time for your 9-grain honey oat bread. It's just, give me white bread with it to sop it up. Done. Every day.
Starving. Well, good news. Festival Foods has everything that you just listed. Brisket, pork butts, pork shoulders, bacon, smoked bacon once. That's really good. I know it's a little double entendre there, but it's all at Festival Foods. Good to know that you actually, I didn't know that you were partaking in the smoked brisket back then.
I'm a connoisseur.
All right, back to wrap it up on the Inside Wisconsin show with Gabrielle Dow of the Green Bay Packers. Trevor, John, 2 for me, then the JA Lightning round. Here are my 2. Number 1, are you the person that's in charge of hiring Bill Jarts? Let me redo that. Are you the person in charge of hiring Bill Jarts?
Careful how you answer this, because I know where this is going.
Yeah.
I did not hire Bill Jarts, and he's welcome to stay as long as he wants. Until he retires. But the fact that he says easy peasy at a live game always makes me laugh. But and he has done a wonderful job really getting the crowd standing. So he's got lots of quips and fun stuff, and now he's who he is, Jartsy. And he always hands out his cards. I must have like 10. He forgets he gives me his baseball card.
If you've ever been to any event here in town, he throws that in for a winning bid on an auction item.
I think I have a 10. I maybe have 15. I don't know.
That's awesome.
At least you now know what's on Trevor's vision board.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Are you wanting to announce our games?
So I'm the public address announcer for the GB men's basketball team.
Okay.
I call that the second best seat in town. And I think I did something like 200 of the Green Bay Bullfrogs games when they were first here, 7 years. So I certainly have been asked if that would ever be something I'd be interested in. And my quick answer is not even on my radar until Bill Jarts says he's done. Then if I'm gathered to have a conversation about it, that'd be awesome.
Then I'm your person, so I love this conversation.
Well, whatever the future holds, I'm very grateful for whatever. I would be lying if I said every time I see Mark Murphy at a GB men's basketball game, I definitely ramp it up a little bit that game just to make sure he knows who I am.
But now you know why Bill Jarts drives home a different way from work every time.
In the motorcade? Is that why Bill Jarts is coming?
Always takes a different way home from the game, just in case.
I love the guy.
I thought you were after Larry's gig or Wayne.
No.
Come on.
No.
Wayne?
No. I mean, Wayne's cool, but I think the other guy in this picture would rather have that gig.
I'm good.
All right, last one. Mark Murphy said that he had a plan to get Bruce Springsteen to come to Lambeau Field. I prefer Garth Brooks. Is there any conversation about having concerts at Lambeau again in the future?
Well, first of all, Ed Policy put Mark Murphy up to that because Bruce is Ed's like go-to. And if I don't hear about Bruce Springsteen on a religious basis, yes. Yes. It's a fine time because we can only host concerts in June. There's about 2 or 3 weeks. And so when you look at a route and where a show is being routed, it's really tough. So we do love concerts, but the timing has to be right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We got a couple we're talking to, but the timing has to be right.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's not even close. You want Bruce Springsteen over Garth Brooks by 100 times.
Whatever.
We do. I'd like the Rolling Stones too. That's another one I'd love.
Because they're as old as the Packers franchise, which is amazing.
And so was Billy Joel and Paul McCartney.
Yeah, they played.
We tried to grab them before,
Yeah, I think the Stones played halftime of Curly Lambeau's last game.
We have this debate here all the time about what artist could sell Lambeau Field out 2 days in a row. Springsteen, Garth Brooks, Taylor Swift.
She's not
Stones.
coming. Yes.
She's not coming. You heard it here first.
Her stage alone took 10 days to load in, or 2 weeks. And those LEDs those screens are heavy. I don't know if you've seen her show. I can't put that weight on Lambeau.
Well,
I've already talked to the promoter on that one.
Lambeau puts a lot of weight on you, so I feel like we should be able to do that. Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You just have to answer this and not laugh at me like I'm a moron, because we all know that's the case. Okay. Are you still on the board at Green Bay Country Club?
Yes.
Okay. What's your handicap?
I don't play golf.
You don't play golf. That's not true.
I do, but I have a short game. That's it.
All right.
I'm awful.
What's the best part of your game? Okay, that's fine. Fill in the blank. Most NFL players are what?
Talented.
Okay. You helped open the Staples Center. What's it called now?
Crypto.com, right? Yes, that's it.
Crypto.com Arena. Yeah. And what's the Kodak Theater now?
Nokia? No. I don't know.
We're past that one. It's now the Dolby Theater.
Oh, I knew. Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. No, the Kodak is now Dolby. I thought there was a Dolby that was around crypto.
Would you rather go to the Super Bowl or the Oscars?
Super Bowl.
Really?
I'd rather be in the Super Bowl.
Sure.
I've already been to 4 or 5 Oscars.
Okay, tell me an Oscar story.
Oh, red carpet. I used to be I first started as a seat filler, and would sit in the seats, and the rehearsals are relentless. So at Staples Center, we also had Kodak Theater at the time, and I had an office there, and I would book the shows market the shows that were there. Andrea Bocelli, Bear in the Big Blue House, all these kind of family shows. Wow. And then for the month, I think the Oscars are in March, the month of February, they closed the whole building down. And the way they built that building, every single office has a dressing room. I had a full bathroom and a shower so that all the talent could use all the offices as full dressing rooms with showers.
Wow. Did you get to work with Billy Crystal then?
I didn't work with him directly, but I've seen him. He was at Barbra Streisand show. He was around.
Very good. I love Babs. Your favorite place for fish in Green Bay on Friday?
Oh, out of town.
Out of town. Okay. I'm kind of America's guy. What number did Packers linebacker John Anderson wear?
I should know. Oh, no. Sorry.
He was 59.
Yes.
Sammy's Pizza or Tracktown Pizza?
Oh, Tracktown.
I think so, too. If you could sit anywhere in Lambeau Field to watch a game, where would it be? Not a club seat. You got to sit. You got to sit with us. You got to sit with the regular folks.
I'd like to do it at a 50-yard line on the Eagles side, because if the Eagles are ever playing us, because I've been to every single stadium, sat everywhere. Mm-hmm. Those fans heckle their own team so relentlessly that I laughed so hard the last time we played there. And I wore all black, and I was there for work and just incognito, but I sat on their sideline, and I cried laughing because it's just the humor of the fans. They're just they're horrible to their own team.
Oh, so far in your 10, 11 years, favorite non-Packers event at Lambeau Field?
Oh, soccer, Bayern and Man City. That was an electric evening.
Literally electrical. There was lightning everywhere. Yeah.
We had to clear the bowl twice.
Seriously. I can tell you how much I dislike soccer, and then I can also tell you I sent Colin home to go see that game because he was very excited. I wrote this before the fire and the tragedy for him, but why is it the organization, everybody loves Randall Cobb so much? Like you told me you were so excited when he came back.
Oh, because he's just salt of the earth and a wonderful human being. He married a fantastic, brilliant woman, attorney, IP. I mean, he again leads with kindness, and he's just what you see is what you get. He's just fantastic.
Which is true. Matt LaFleur has more wins than Bart Starr or more losses than Vince Lombardi.
Oh gosh, I don't know that stuff.
Okay. He has more wins than Bart Starr.
Ed would know that. I would not. Yeah.
Okay. I have two other things. First out, I've got to fill out my ballot of board of directors. Should I just?
Oh yeah.
Should I check to keep everybody, or is there anybody you want gassed? Because I'll take them out right now.
I got to do the same thing. I have mine right here. That's so funny.
Hey, you want to fill it out together?
Well, no, and also I got to do my change of address because it went to my house.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just wondered.
Nominees of the board to serve in the class. Oh, sorry.
Wait, the Packers organization doesn't have your new address? Is that what you just said? I would get that changed.
Because the shares are different. The shares are different company. That's funny, John. I have the same one too. Both my kids have shares.
There's only one guy that I've ever voted against.
Shush.
Years ago, yeah, and one of my good buddies' dad went to work for him when he was at Fort Howard. I'll leave his name out, and the deal didn't work out. The guy kind of reneged. So when every year he was on the board, I voted him to be out. Now I just checked that I'll keep all these people. They seem like they're all right. Dan Aarons, we want to keep these people. So
yeah, good guy.
All right, keep on.
Oh, yeah.
Finally, last question. Do you anticipate the condo rental will be done by the draft or by the World Cup?
It better be done by the draft because I got a lot of people staying.
We did mention that. Like they talk about how on some of these small towns, like the Masters, right? All the Augusta people just leave and they rent their. Like nobody in Green Bay will do that because they want to stay and be here for the draft.
Oh yeah, and then you have friends that are coming to visit you, so your place is just we'll be out of blow up beds in no time. Yep.
Seriously.
Tell my mom she can pay off her mortgage in a weekend. So anyway, you are priceless. Thank you so much. We're gonna let you go because this nonsense. You have better things to do with your time. I am keeping what is it? What's the draft? April, May, something like that now.
Last week in April.
Okay, I'll figure that out. And
please.
I'm going to bring kids with me so they can cover the draft too, and it'll be terribly exciting. But
Trevor, you're coming too, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can you come to a game?
Me?
Yeah.
I go to every game. I'm at every. Not only do I go, well, first off, that's grateful for John, allows me to purchase his tickets whenever he is unable to use them or somebody in his family. Other than that, I scrap for tickets as often as I can. And actually, my wife and I and some friends are going to the Nashville game this year. So we'll be down there as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you my cell number. We'll be down there and awesome. We'll have a pep rally. Can you guys come?
Yeah, actually, we're going with Kathy Dvorak, and one of the things that we won at the GB Phoenix Packers Steak Fry, we won the auction item, so we will be at the pep rally. Maybe you can come to dinner with us, and it sounds like Scott Wells. That'd be awesome.
Well, Megan's going. I think Megan will be down there, and Kate Burgess is going. John, you got to come. Nashville's going to be huge.
By the way, this is just such a Green Bay conversation. Do you think the guys that are doing the Giants podcast talk like this and everybody knows that circle? It's just not how it works. So thanks so much. Good luck with the fireplace, and we will chat soon. And I'll see you. If nothing else, I'll see. Well, I'll be back in a week. You'll be in. Where'd you say you're going? Orlando. Okay. Do you need me to watch over construction? If anybody needs to be at the house, let me know. I can let them in.
Yeah, I'll give you the garage code. Can you just check and put the Amazon boxes?
That's another Wisconsin thing. I'll give you the garage code.
I can do any of that stuff. And then if nothing else, I'll see you for the Colts game. Thank you so much, Gabrielle.
Hey, guys.
We want you to do a whole lot more than just save money. We want your money to grow, just like your dreams. We want you to achieve financial well-being and the feelings that go along with that. Capital Credit Union, doing the right thing.
I wasn't asking for Bill Jartz's job. I just wanted to make sure she knew I was alive. That's it.
And that if Bill Jartz wasn't, you'd take his job.
Oh, jeez. I would love the opportunity. That's all I'm asking. And there's a piece of me, though, that goes, damn, like, does that mean I can never go to a Packer game again? You know what I mean? Like, now you got to work at every single Packer game. There's something to that.
You can't have 7 Miller Lights and then go up.
You're right.
Talking about number 13. Yeah, you can't. Got to be careful.
You know me well. You know me well.
People don't. That's what suddenly people go, oh, this is the dream job. Wait a minute. That changes the dynamic terribly of what the job is. But, that happens. So,
I think it's
but right, how super impressive is that? Like, I'm not kidding. She kind of chuckled and poo-pooed. She'll run a franchise someday.
Totally.
Whether it's in the NFL or somewhere else, she'll be the top of that food chain. And rightfully so. Whoever does it will have made a brilliant, not just glass ceiling shattering hire. They will have made just a brilliant organizational hire.
We're lucky to have her. I hope we keep her for a long time, and then she needs to we want her to run a franchise, but we also love what she's doing for the Packers too. So it's like,
which is great. It's one of those things, whether you know it or not, every time you go and enjoy a game or something around the Packers, she's got her fingerprints on it,
Yeah.
Whether you know the name, and hopefully now you do, but she's got it on it. So,
well, and you work closely with her in all the things that you do for the Packers, including a little cameo shot. I saw the Inside Wisconsin set on the Green Bay Packers season schedule launch, right?
Yeah, a couple of things. Yeah, now and again, I get a call and try to help out wherever I can. Absolutely. Me, I surrender on the spot when they ask if I could do something. I was like, why wouldn't you? Of course I would do that. But yeah, so they put together the schedule release. That was a big deal. And every team had a video of a schedule release. And some people did different things across the NFL that were really funny. And the Packers had this talent show, and they brought all kinds of people in to do little spots. Little Wayne was there. Rob Domofsky was kicking field goals. I don't know if you saw that. He's actually better than Carlson. And so I had a little part of it. But I sent in a couple of things. So they used just a little bit. I get it. But so here, I thought as John Wisconsin, I would just share the rest of my Johnny Carson Karnak ripoff of what my talent was supposed to be. So this is what I sent in full. The mental gymnastics of Anderson, the all-knowing. I have no idea what's in these envelopes. I'm just going to just come to me. Jordan Love. Why do so many people hate on LeBron James? Ritz Norad Lombardi. Ritz Norad Lombardi. Name a cracker, a tracker, and a packer. Funny, right?
Anderson, the all-knowing.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you think that's terrible, right? I sent more.
There's more.
Yeah. More from Anderson, the all-knowing. Again, haven't seen these envelopes. Don't know. Just mentally making the connection here. Romeo Dobbs. Where does Juliet get her Dobbs? Cheddar, number 2 pencils, sterling. Cheddar, number 2 pencils, sterling. Name 3 things that are sharp.
Is that it?
So you know the term backed by popular demand?
No.
Yeah, this is kind of the opposite of that. But you never know. Third time might be better. So I actually sent just one more just in case they needed it. Just bonus Anderson, the all-knowing here. Larry McCarron, The Rock. Larry McCarron. What breaks scissors but gets covered by paper? I like it. Again, haven't seen these, don't know what's in. George Washington, B. Freilich, Wes Hodkiewicz. Washington, Freilich, Hodkiewicz. My goodness. Name a quarter, a supporter, and a reporter. Just 2 more here for you, just for fun. 2 more here. Josh Sitton. Haven't heard that name in a while. Josh Sitton. What's Josh doing when he's not playing? And our final envelope right here. Last one for Anderson the All-Knowing. A field goal, Tony Canadeo, Colby Jack, and El Nino. A field goal, Tony Canadeo, Colby Jack, and El Nino. Name 2 threes, a cheese, and a breeze. Anderson the All-Knowing. Dude, you should hope you were as funny as me, okay? Don't even say anything.
I got
all
nothing.
right? Although I watched that and I just feel like I should just say I'm sorry. Again, it was part of the goof, and now I will say no more for the rest of this episode of Inside Wisconsin.
Thank you. I'm actually really we're done. We're done. Great way to end it. Thanks for sending those.
Yep.
You're still a broadcasting legend. Just saying. Just maybe not a stand-up comedian. As you were, Wisconsin. We'll see you next time. Remember to subscribe on YouTube. Leave a review. Smash the like button. Just get with us.
The Inside Wisconsin Show is brought to you by American Family Insurance, Blaine's Farm and Fleet, Capital Credit Union, Festival Foods, Quick Trip, Miller Lite, North Star Mohican Casino Resort, and the University of Wisconsin-Platteville.
Shut up and sit down.